Bank account on some talk. Attitude on some bankroll on what it do, boo. He had the roulette vibe.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Room here to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early 2nd and long they're facing. Here's Bridgewater. And he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let it know. That's got to stop.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Slow.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Rolling to his left. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. It's James. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And it's brought in by Washington. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on 1st. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. He got 29 yards that time.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Steelers have taken a 1st quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Johnson, and he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Slow.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long.
Slow.
They go play action now. Taylor. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
This is a Johnny. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Delta.
Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. third down, Bridgewater. He's going to air one out, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Ready. 319. 319.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Slow. Two jet.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Open man is Amara Darboh, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Taylor running the option left. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now they try the right side here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. On 2nd down, Taylor. That's complete to Darboh. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns are back within a score. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Bridgewater on 1st down. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jay Ajayi, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Steelers get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 21-7. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. More from Cleveland after this. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Under. Slow. Z.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Slow. 36.
Looking to throw on second down. Taylor, he's going to rifle one deep left side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spend too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Ready. Flag 32. Flag 32. Z.
Off the play fake, here's Taylor. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Taylor going to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. The Browns on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Z.
Now Taylor to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Zane Gonzalez now to try the Browns field goal. This from 54 yards away. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And now out come the Steelers. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on first down. First down, Bridgewater. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Now Bridgewater. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Slow. Z.
To throw is Taylor. To throw on 2nd down. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Z.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10.
Throw.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Throw.
To throw on 2nd down. Taylor. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The Browns on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Throw.
From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Third and long for Bridgewater. He's going to sling this deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, That ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the gun, Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. Fighting to stay upright. And now running right through it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Taylor will bring the Browns up 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Taylor on 1st down. It's complete to Chris Conley. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Taylor now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he rifles it complete, caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And we're back now here in Cleveland. The Browns on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Under.
Here's Taylor, operating from the gun. And he's got his man. It's Darboh. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Taylor now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now Taylor from the gun, he'll throw. He's going to look deep now. It's caught inside the 25. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Slow.
Now Taylor finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Taylor will throw again. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now a handoff looking right. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Slow.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Stephon Tuitt in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Third and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Operating from the gun. Taylor, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns get a score closer. A diving catch for the score. He laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box. Touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
James has got it. Complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Here's Ajayi. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. On 1st down, it's Taylor. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Taylor. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. The Browns on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and a mile. Taylor now, operating from the gun. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. And they will not get the snap off here. This is going to back them up halfway. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. With it is Brown. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Bridgewater. Drops it off to Ajayi. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. They run with Ajayi. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Throwing here, Bridgewater. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Brown. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the